Hook: imagine being completely certain you committed a crime, one you never actually committed. Not just saying you did it, but genuinely believing it, with details, with emotion, with a memory that feels as real as anything else in your life. That happened to real people inside a real study. And it took researchers less than 3 interviews to get there. Background: how far can that reconstruction go wrong, and can an outside person deliberately push it in the wrong direction? The researchers. The landmark work here comes from Julia Shaw and Stephen Porter, published in Psychological Science in 2015. Shaw was based at the University of Bedfordshire at the time, Porter at the University of British Columbia. They designed a controlled experiment specifically to test whether rich false memories of committing a crime could be implanted in healthy, ordinary adults using standard interview techniques that actually mirror real police interrogation methods. No deception drugs, no hypnosis. Just conversation. The findings: they recruited 60 participants. All had clean histories. Researchers contacted each participant's parents beforehand and confirmed a real emotional event from their adolescence. Then, over 3 interviews, they introduced either a false crime, assault with a weapon, or theft, or a false emotional event, as a second supposed memory from that same period. By the 3rd interview, 70% of participants in the false crime group had developed what the researchers classified as a false memory of committing that crime. 70%. These were not vague impressions. Participants produced an average of 10 to 38 details about events that never happened. They described perpetrators, locations, emotions, physical sensations. Some participants cried. Some asked whether they should contact a lawyer. The techniques used were things like telling participants that their parents confirmed the event, encouraging them to visualize it, and applying mild social pressure across sessions. That was enough. Deeper context: confidence in a memory is not evidence of its accuracy. Why it matters: wrongful convictions. That is the immediate stakes here. The Innocence Project has found that in roughly 27% of DNA exoneration cases, false confessions were a contributing factor. Understanding how false memories form is directly relevant to how police interview suspects and how courts evaluate testimony. It also has implications for therapy, where certain techniques have been shown to risk generating false memories of trauma. What comes next? Researchers are now mapping which individuals are most susceptible, and whether neuroimaging can distinguish true from false memories at the brain level. So far, the brain activity looks disturbingly similar. Close: your memory does not record your life. It writes a story about it. And like any story, it can be edited by someone else. CTA: has a memory you were certain about ever turned out to be wrong? Drop it in the comments. And subscribe for a new deep dive every week.